Clint, great to see you. Thanks for sitting down and talking to us about Sugar CRM's marketing plans.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Clint, we're living in an increasingly borderless world, fueling marketers' global ambitions. How do you think about and structure your marketing on a global scale?
Global marketing has been a part of Sugar CRM since day one. We've been a global phenomenon starting as an open source company, our software being downloaded around the world 12 years ago. For us, global marketing started through the channel. We're a very channel-centric company. We execute around the world through a vast network of business partners. It sounds trite, but it's very true for us as a company. Think global, act local. And so translating the way we engage with our customers to a very local basis is incredibly important for my marketing team and for our customers.
Clint, according to a recent McKinsey study, growth is the single largest predictor of a company's success, and marketers are more responsible for driving that growth than ever before. What growth drivers have been most successful for you?
Really, this is what our business is about here at Sugar CRM. How do you engage with prospects early in the life cycle? How do you manage every step of that engagement and lead it towards predictable outcomes? This is what we do in the world of customer relationship management. This is what marketers are looking for around the world.
I know you spend a lot of your time visiting customers and listening to their feedback. What do customers say about Sugar CRM that surprised you?
The one that does surprise me is how many companies around the world think that because of the industry they're in or the region that they're in, that their business is totally unique, that no one else is like them. In reality, there's a lot of similarities. Now, every company has some nuances that allows them to stand out in the marketplace, but you'd be surprised how common business is in Brazil, in Hong Kong, in the manufacturing industry, in the financial services industry. A lot of similarities across the board.
A lot of that must come from the data that you look at. How do you use intent data to identify audiences?
So when we think about intent data, we look at it through the lens of customer journey mapping. And what I mean by that specifically is not only is customer journey mapping a discipline that every marketer should understand, but it's actually one of the tools by which our own professional services organization and our partners engage with customers. Because a CRM solution is all about enabling a company to more effectively work with their customers to build an extraordinary relationship. And it all begins with that initial intent. What's the need I'm trying to solve? What's the problem that I have? And through every point of engagement, understanding what that intent is. So naturally you're measuring it, naturally you're tracking that information, but then you're feeding it back into your business planning. And I would recommend to everybody to as they do that business planning, to look at the solutions through the lens of the customer. What's the problem that you're solving for the customer? As opposed to projecting your own internal departmental silos out onto the customer and looking at it from your own inside-out perspective.
That's great. We had spoken earlier about how content marketing plays a role in that customer journey. Tell us more about how you think about content marketing.
Content marketing, I think, is probably the single most important area of investment for Sugar CRM as we go into 2017. And the reason behind that is content is king, naturally. It's the point upon which companies and customers start that engagement and that relationship process. But going beyond that, I think of content within the context of not just a blog, not just a community, but every single point of the manifestation of your positioning strategy. So here at Sugar CRM, we think of ourselves as a challenger company. We think of ourselves as a company who is out there challenging the status quo of the CRM industry, asking very provocative questions like, when was the last time you invested in building a relationship with your customer? What does it mean for you to build a relationship with your customer? These provocative questions need to be asked in very large-scale formats. And to us, that's what we're doing with content marketing, getting people to think about CRM differently.
Let's change gears for a minute. What's one book that you would recommend to a marketing colleague?
The book that I would recommend to a marketing colleague is Challenger Sales. And that book has been around for probably, 10 years now. And it's a book that I think is very important for the marketer because it helps you understand your partner in the sales organization and the motivations of your partner in the sales organization. But it also helps you to understand the mindset around challenger marketing. And I talked about that just a minute ago. If I were to recommend, you didn't ask for two recommendations, you asked for one. So I'm going to go for, you'll take two, all right? Eat Big Fish. And Eat Big Fish is a book about defining the challenger brand. And as a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, as somebody who started Sugar Serum 12 years ago, as somebody who thinks about business through the lens of Silicon Valley, I think challenger brand, challenger marketing is probably the most insightful way of getting your customers to think differently. And this is the world we live in, especially in the technology world. We're thinking differently. We're changing the world around us.
Does culture lead marketing, or does marketing lead culture?
That is a difficult question. Does culture lead marketing, or is marketing lead culture? It's certainly two sides of the same coin. So I would probably say that culture should lead marketing, otherwise it will be false. So as marketers, I think certainly through the perspective of challenger marketing, it is our job to project the culture of Sugar CRM to the world, to engage with prospects and customers from a perspective of humanity, a perspective of thought leadership, a perspective of provocative questioning. How do we become a trusted partner to our customers? That's our culture here at Sugar CRM. You'll see it written on the walls: passion, innovation, openness, integrity, delivering value to our customers. Those are the words that we define ourselves by. And if you think about that, that's the core of our marketing message as well. I think if you run into the point where marketing leads culture, then it comes across, frankly, as false. And that would be a trap that I wouldn't want any company to fall into.